Richard Skinner of the Enquirer, Doug Pelfrey, the former kicker. The gang's all here following the Bengals' home opening win to move to 2-0 on the season. And 10 straight, a franchise record, 10 straight regular season home victories. Guys, let's start off, Doug, with you, the poll question. Most impressive aspect of this team, was it the run game, the pass defense, the play calling, or the next man up attitude they had to have today?
Obviously, all of them good answers. To me, I'm going to go with the run game, even though, to me, I was really nervous about how we defend their good receivers. But to me, the running game, because of the fact that AJ got hurt, and just the way we salted the clock all, the entire game, we controlled the line of scrimmage. At the same time, we just kept hitting them, and it was a nice combination of Jeremy Hill as well as Gio. I thought they were sensational.
Skinny, take a shot at that.
I'm going to go with the play calling. I'll start on the defense first. I thought Paul Gunther, whenever he decided to blitz on third down, it was the right time. He didn't do it all the time. He did it a good chunk of the time. He's been really good at deciding when to blitz, and he's been good at disguising those blitzes the first couple of weeks. And then Hugh Jackson. Last week, they ended up throwing the ball 38 times, running at 26. This week, they decided Atlanta can't stop the run, which they didn't against New Orleans. So you run it 44 times, you pass it 25 times. I think the play calling was outstanding today. I
think Paulie put his stamp on this defense very early with that zero coverage blitz at the end of last week's game in Baltimore, which clinched the game. All right, Skinny. Obviously, you know about all the injuries. Almost too many to talk about. Who do you know? What do you know? How bad could it be?
Yeah, A.J. Green is obviously one that probably is the most frightening. He suffered a toe injury. During the week, he actually had a foot problem that kept him out of practice on Thursday, limited him on Wednesday. He did go Friday, so hence he played today. But that is in kind of tied together, those two injuries. He declined to talk after the game. I think you might have even seen him, Mike. He looked okay to just see him physically, but we won't know until probably Wednesday when they're back to practice. The other one, Kevin Zeiler, I think is another one that's scary. He hurt his calf. He was on crutches in the locker room after the game. Defensive tackle Brandon Thompson hurt his knee. He didn't come back. Then Alex Smith hurt his bicep. And then Avantez Burfict with a stinger, and that's on top of the concussion from a week ago. That's back-to-back weeks for him. They've got a few guys nicked up. I mean, I know they want to do next man up and all that, but that's a lot if you have to keep overcoming this.
And then, of course, they have the bye week after week 3.
It's a good time for that.
It's not something they wanted back in July or when the schedules came out in April, but boy, they'll take it now, no doubt. Doug, Andy Dalton today, another tremendous performance, no turnovers.
Right.
Big blitz pickups, things of that nature. We're starting to see this kid come of age in year 4, and this is usually when it happens.
Absolutely. I think he's taken a lot of shots here over the last few years, as far as from the media, from the just fans, and it just seems like he can't seem to win. And obviously, he's not won a playoff game, and I think that's what's going to continue to hang over his head until he wins one. But he's throwing a nice ball. He had some mess ups today in the inside the red zone, but at the end of the day, the guy's running the team. He's getting us in the end zone enough so far. Obviously, we are getting some field goals, but to me, he's not a reason why we're not winning games. I mean, he's doing a good job, and it's not like we're overcoming him every single game. So I think he's doing fine.
Skinny, let me ask you about this 1-2 punch in the offensive backfield with, of course, Jeremy Hill and Gio Bernard. Tremendous production today from both players. Both players are incredibly young. They're not very different. Usually with the 1-2 punch, you think you're getting, one guy's more of a power between the tackles guy, another guy's more of an edge outside guy. They're very similar, but boy, they complement each other very nicely.
Yeah, I mean, Jeremy Hill's bigger. He's 238. Gio's only 5'9", 208, but they run Gio between the tackles, and he's a tough runner inside. And you've seen Jeremy Hill, when he gets in space, he can make guys miss. He took that short pass over the middle early in the game, made a guy miss. He can get on the edge sometimes and make people miss. It is a good compliment. And funny, usually you're right. You have that smaller, shiftier, speedier back and then the big bruiser. Both of them have a little bit of skill set that's better than the other one, but boy, they both do a lot of things really well.
And they survived a game without Tyler Eifert. For how long, though, can they continue to not get a ton out of Jermaine Gresham and not have Eifert on the field?
Yeah, that's one thing I do want to see him do, is use Jermaine, because he's been to 2 Pro Bowls. He's a good receiver. You just got he's an ego guy. You got to get him in the game early, and I don't think that's what we've done thus far. So we're going to have to get him in early. What I really like about Hugh's offense, I love that he's spreading the field, but he goes downfield a little bit, and to me that makes you cover the entire field. And to me, I love everything that he's doing on offense. I love the way he's setting up plays. There's fans asking questions like, "Why do you run that? That was a silly play to have Andy." But when you have a quarterback that'll tuck it up under there, now you have to account for him, and then it just opens somebody else up. So he's doing an excellent job. First 2 games, I give him an A+, but I'm excited about what we're doing. So.